Hi, I'm Leanne. I'm a lightworker and a mother to 3 special girls. I strive to continue learning, growing, and to collect new skills. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master teacher, and Akashic record reader and energy healer. I am so excited to share what I've learned and what I'm going to learn and the ups and downs of life. Thank you for joining me on my journey. Welcome to Life of a Lightworker podcast. Hello, and thank you for joining me. Today I'm pulling cards for the whole year to help give you a sense of what the year ahead is going to be like. I was drawn towards the Healing Waters Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. My intention for this card pull is what guidance or information can be given to us as a collective to help us walk through the next year with as much ease and peace as possible. So the first card is for January. Let me see. And January's card is the Waterfall. Inner peace, unbridled confidence, and claiming your place. And from the book, it says, the waterfall is a place of power, incredible force, and activation. The previous calm, embracing waters of the running river gather momentum and then hurl themselves wholeheartedly towards their destiny. With wild abandon and great confidence, they leap into the unknown. Perhaps this explains why being near a waterfall is such an empowering experience. We feel the pounding energy of the waters deep within us. This card is about bracing that power within, stepping forth and claiming your place. You've been working for this for a very long time. You've done the time. Now, how can you embrace this moment and take your position as the leader in your life? This waterfall beckons you forth towards your empowerment, to consider what you'd do if you truly felt empowered. It encourages you to step more fully into your confidence, to receive the pouring thunder of the falling water as your encouragement and your applause. And the soul inquiry for this card is, what would you do if you felt empowered and confident? Card number 2 for February is cleansing, releasing the old, energetic tune-up, and new beginnings. Water has been deeply associated with both physical and spiritual cleansing since ancient times. We use water to cleanse our day away as we bathe, and many of this world's faith traditions use water as a means of spiritual purification, from immersion in holy waters to baptism and ritual baths. Pilgrims around the world journey to numerous sites for the healing and cleansing qualities of their water. The water in the grounds of Japan's Hongu Seigen Taisha, I'm going to be saying all those words wrong, a Shinto shrine at the foot of sacred Mount Fuji, is seen as both deeply holy and self-purifying. Flowing from the melting snow of the volcano mountain summit, it forms washing ponds that call people to them from near and far. Many believe that these ponds are very mystical and powerful. Local legend says that the depth of the pool's waters magically change according to the size of the person who enters them, adapting to the level of their submergence. While visiting the healing water sites of this world, it is an incredible thing to do. We don't need to travel to experience healing and cleansing power of water for ourselves. You probably already use water in this way, although perhaps not consciously. As you shower or bathe, or as you wash your hands, consider the water and call on it to support you by washing away what's coming to an end or is no longer in alignment, leaving space for what you'd like to bring anew, birth anew. The soul inquiry. What's no longer in alignment or coming to an end that you're ready to release? Okay, The third card for March. And it's let it go. Release the past, forgive, soften, and move forward. Change is one of the most difficult things for our heart and mind to accept. Maybe you're on the brink of an ending, a hurt, or a loss, or perhaps you experienced an end in the past, but are still carrying the pain within your heart and your mind. Just as the shoreline doesn't try to hold onto the sea, this card comes with encouragement to begin the process of letting go. Letting go is rarely something that happens in an instant. More often it is a process that can take days, weeks, months, or even years. The process always begins with the willingness and the wanting to be free of what once was. Holding on to an emotion such as sorrow, anger, or disappointment is a normal part of the process. And in order to be free of it, we must first fully feel it. Emotions are feelings in motion. They're not meant to be stagnant. Water is the same. It wants to move and flow. When you allow our emotions to be there fully, they rarely last as long as what they would do if we repressed them. When we avoid endings for whatever reason, the symbolic waters within us can build up and become stagnant. Call upon the waters within you to flow freely. Let the dammed walls of past hurt come tumbling down like the waters. Let the waters within you travel out into the world. Let them find their way past stones and riverbanks. New streams are calling you forth. Let the ocean call you home. And the soul inquiry is, what are you willing to let go of? All right, for April. The card for April is, I got a fly out one for this one. The Stagnant Waters. Feeling stuck, a call for shifts, flow, and change. And my cat just climbed up on my lap, so you might hear him. Just letting you know. So, perhaps it's the movement of water that contains the intelligent flow of energy that makes life possible. The life force that animates all living things. When water stops flowing, it becomes stagnant. This lack of flow can cause a buildup and lead to pollution. Perhaps we're like that too. Perhaps we need flow just as much as the waters of the world. This card brings with it a call for flow, movement, and change. How can you begin to flow a little more with life's changes? Where in your life do you feel stuck? What has become stagnant or lacking of vitality, ease, and flow? How are you being called to re-inject more movement into your life? Sometimes when we go through life, our energy can become stuck, physically, emotionally, spiritually, romantically, and yet life is always there to support our return to flow, to movement. This is a wonderful card to receive, as it comes with magnificent opportunity for shifting energy and embracing change and new possibilities. Perhaps you've become complacent or just really feel stuck. Maybe you've been avoiding something deep down, and this is causing the waters within you to stagnate. Perhaps the intelligence of the water is inviting you to call upon the intelligence within you to find the courage to embrace a new way of flowing with life. The soul inquiry is, what feels stuck or stagnant in your life? What shifts are you being called to make? And next is May. May is the wishing well, unexpected gifts, kindness, and cosmic jewels. It's said that in ancient times, women would sing and whisper into the wells, believing that the water would carry their messages from one corner of the world to another. This may sound like something from a children's fable, but in fact, several scientific researchers have theorized that water can be imbued with energy from our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Wishing wells are found all over the world, and they mirror to us the great reverence held by our ancestors for Earth's fresh waters. Greek mythology says that the tradition of wishing wells began through the practice of throwing coins into a sacred well of the warrior Amphiaraus, Amphiaraus. I'm not sure how to say that one. Who was a renowned oracle. The wishing well is a wonderful card that carries with it great blessings, gifts, and fulfilled wishes. When it appears in a spread, it's a sign that things are happening and that the realization of your dreams is likely to occur. Of course, any creation requires embodiment and action, so it's not a sign to stop moving forward towards your dream in practical ways. Rather, it offers deep encouragement to keep going and to trust that all the groundwork you've already put in place is working. It can also be a sign that helpful people are coming into your life to support you in creating your heart's deepest desires. The Healing Waters affirmation is, I receive all the gifts that life has to offer me with an open heart and open mind. I'm surrounded by kind, helpful people. Things are working out for me. I'm living my heart's deepest, most daring prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next card is June 4th. June's card is Into the Unknown. Underworld, depth, courage, facing your fears. Earth is a water planet. Seen from space, it appears blue. Water makes up 71% of Earth's surface, yet we've explored less than 20% of its ocean floor. There are creatures of the deep that have captivated humans for millennia. There's no wonder, too, that water has been used as a symbol for our inner emotional world. There's always so much for us to discover and uncover within. Are you being called to face your fears and explore the unknown? To challenge what you thought was possible? This is the card of courage, intention, and depth. Perhaps you're being called to make a significant change in your life that you feel scared about, or maybe what you've experiencing is more internal than that. Maybe life is calling you to venture into the shadowy depth of your own inner journey, to face things that others may be afraid to face, to heal what may feel difficult to heal, to surrender to a metaphorical depth in order to reemerge anew. In the ancient Sumerian story about the goddess Inanna's, Inanna, journey to the underworld to meet her sister, she leaves the comfort of heaven and earth to descend to the unknown depths. Here she encounters many trials and initiations until she returns, completely changed by her experiences. This story tells us that sometimes, to be born anew, we must face our fears and find a courage to venture into the unknown. Soul Inquiry is, how can you face your fears today? And the card for July. The Water Carrier. What really matters? Reflect and reprioritize. In most parts of the modern world, humans have become disconnected from each other and the planet. We've forgotten simple things like where the water that sustains us even comes from. We speak about creating harmony and peace on Earth, but really our focus should be on creating harmony and peace with the Earth. It is possible that in our disconnection from seeing Earth's resources as sacred, that's made us so disconnected. When we look into the future, we see that without water, there can be no life on Earth. Without water, humanity cannot survive. This is a card about getting your priorities right and focusing on what truly matters. In our busy world, it's so easy to get swept up in things that seem important and urgent, when really, at the end of the day, we realize that worrying about them has become a waste of time, resources, and energy. It's time to take a moment to pause, reflect, and reprioritize, to focus on what really matters, to chop wood and carry water, to care for those in our community, to understand what really, truly is important and act accordingly. The Soul Inquiry is, what are we worrying about and doing that's a waste of time, energy, and resources? What are you being called to focus on instead? Moving on to August. The card is the Sweet Waters. Sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility, and balance. In mythology, the sweet waters are associated with the fresh waters of the earth and with the sweet breast milk of the Great Mother, Usan, an Orishan deity, that's Orisha, deity of Nigeria's Yorubu, Yorubo people, is associated with water, fertility, sensuality, and love, and also with the color yellow, honey, and bees. Osun, Osun, is a great mother goddess who brings balance to earth and humanity, and she also is referred to as the mother of the orphans. In Italy's Villa d'Este in Tovillo, near Rome, there's a famous fountain called the Fountain of Diana of Ephesus, Ephesus, or the Fountain of Mother Nature. It features the sculpture of the Roman goddess Diana as Mother Nature, with multiple breasts out for which flows sweet fresh waters. My cat is just like really pushing into me. She makes it hard to read. So we know that we need fresh water to survive, and yet we know that we need fresh water to survive, and yet we've not been protecting and appreciating the very thing that sustains us. When the waters are clean and protected, life is in balance and the world is fertile. This card is an invitation to enjoy the simple, sweet pleasures of life, to appreciate the fertility of nature all around you, to tend to your own garden and the sweet waters of your life. The soul inquiry is, how can you recognize, receive, and enjoy the sweetness of your life a little bit more? And for September, Planetary Wave, Soul Mission, Trust Your Inner Call, Soul Team. Your soul chose to come into this body on this planet at this moment in time. You didn't come here on your own. You are part of a larger soul team. Sometimes it can feel as if you are just in this thing all alone. But it couldn't be further from the truth. You're one of a droplet in a vast ocean of consciousness, here to flow with life. You've been called to trust the current of your own river and to answer the call deep within. Take off the weight of responsibility that you need to travel this life on your own. Call on the others who get you and realize that you are part of a larger team. You are but one thread in this great tapestry of life. Your mission is clear. Keep doing what you've been called to do. You'll never know the full impact that your being here on this planet will have, and it's already having. Keep trusting that deep call within. The more you embrace who you truly are and surrender to the flow with the current you've been called to, the easier it will be for people to find you. Like two rivers that meet, and remember that you're made of the same thing. You're not alone in your calling. Healing Waters affirmation is, I trust my inner calling and play my part in the greater plan. And October. Bounteous. Graciously given, relationships coming together. When water is present, life is present. It's a gift offered to us and through us. Generously offered, bountifully given. We've begun to wake up to this precious substance we have in our lives and never take it for granted. Clean running water is a privilege that many in the West fail to appreciate, and it's one thing that many around the world go without. This card encourages you to appreciate the gifts, bounties, and opportunities and privileges that are in your life, to embrace what you need, but also be gracious to others who might not have what you have, to acknowledge and receive the abundance around you, but also share it, to appreciate the simple things in your life like running water. Don't hoard what you don't need. Share the plenty that surrounds you and watch as it swells and grows. Move from competition to collaboration. Rewrite the script of me against you. Welcome the wellspring that eternally bubbles up from deep within. Share what you love freely. So often life is that much more enjoyable when it's shared with others. Where water is, life thrives. Where water flows, things are much more alive. Don't hold and stagnate. Welcome mutual exchanges. Share what you've been blessed with and watch as everything around you and within you becomes more and more alive. The soul inquiry is, how can you appreciate the bounty that's already around you? How can you be more generous in your life? And moving on to November. In Call, healer, seer, priestess, and soul purpose. In folklore in many different places, including Iceland, France, Holland, Albania, England, and Germany, has tales of a rare event called Encall or veiled births. This occurs when the mother goes into labor, but her waters fail to break, and the baby appears in the world, still inside the amniotic sac in which it is gestated. My second child, this happened. According to tradition, children born in Call have second sight and gifts of healing. In Scotland, they were seen as good omens, and fishermen sought out birth Call, the amniotic sac, as an amulet to protect them from drowning. In ancient Egypt, they were believed to be future priests, priestesses, and of the community. And I would say that's pretty accurate for my second. She's the one that brought me into this whole spiritual world. I had to figure out what was going on with her, and I discovered all of this. So this is the card of the healer, the seer, the wisdom keeper, and the mystic. Perhaps you've already on this path, or perhaps it's something new to you. The healer, the shaman, the medicine person knows that it's through facing their own shadows and taking their own deep healing journey that it can return to guide others in their healing. The healer is, like all of us, in their own spiral of transformation and healing. Healed isn't a stagnant state. The healer knows they're not meant to be perfect and whole all the time. Instead, it's because they've journeyed into the deepest, darkest, uncharted ocean caves and returned with an open heart and mind that they're able to hold space for others. This card is an acknowledgement of your role in the world and the deep work you've been doing on your own healing journey. The soul inquiry is, how can you answer the call of your soul in the fullest expression today? And then for December, oh, I dropped some cards, but I dropped way too many, and it was cat-induced accident. Okay, so the mist. Trust your inner compass. Be led from within. Intuition is pointless unless we act on it, but it rarely makes logical sense, which is why it takes faith to trust it and courage to act upon it. But when we do gather up the will to act on our intuition each and every day, we find ourselves living a truly blessed, deeply aligned life that's led from within. I call it living a soul-led life. There's a golden thread before you, calling you towards it, beckoning you forth. You've been called to trust your inner compass and led from within. Mist and fog form when it's extremely humid and water vapor condenses to form droplets that hang in the air. When mist or fog set in, it is as if everything's hanging in a state of mystery. When we're walking in mist, it makes sure we're facing the right way. Slow down and enter a state of trust. Following our intuition is similar to that. While we may not know every step along the way or the exact destination, we're called to trust your inner compass, to trust what the path will appear before you and for you. Like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, follow the yellow brick road. We're being led home to ourselves and our soul's path. It first requires us to consistently trust our guidance system within. The soul inquiry. What's your intuition calling you to do right now? I feel like the overall theme of the next year is working on yourself, cleansing the parts of yourself and of your life that aren't aligned with your future, the future that you want, and learning to trust yourself. I feel like that's the biggest overall theme, is this healing journey where when we come out of it or we are working through it, we gain this self-confidence in our intuition, in our abilities, trust in each other, connecting with other people, and knowing that we're not alone. And I find that the world, especially lately, has been, I guess all along, I've just been really noticing it lately, really puts us against each other, pins us against each other. It's very us against them, and breaking up into little groups. And I feel like a lot of us are seeing this, and we're going to be cleansing that part of our society away, working on cleansing that away. And the way we do that is cleansing it away from ourselves individually. And then society has no choice but to reflect who we are. So instead of society saying what the world should look like and we reflecting society, I feel like there's going to be a shift, and society will reflect who we are. So we are going to change society and the world by changing ourselves first, because the world has no choice to respond and reflect what it sees in us, because we are a mirror. And I feel like we're doing it the opposite way, to go back to the way that it naturally flows and the way that it quote unquote should be, the way that's the natural order and the natural way that we are supposed to function. So it's a cleansing process, and I feel like that's why I was drawn to the waters, because water is very cleansing, and it's the encouragement to always flow and to move and shift, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of things happening, a lot of confusion, lots going on in the world, and keeping that flow within us and being like water. Water is a conductor, and when it's formed into snow, it insulates. It's so transformative. And we can be like water. We have so much water within us. We are water. So embracing that part of us is a really beautiful way to move through the next year. I have a new program that I am putting on in February. It is called Radiant Feminine, Reignite Your Spirit. This is a 4-week healing journey for women who give so much to others and are ready to reconnect with themselves. This container is going to be intimate, and I'm going to guide you through 4 different themes. The first week is going to be about the inner child. The second week is the witch wound. The third week is the mother wound. And the 4th week, we are doing a past life regression healing. And people who sign up also get some awesome bonus material. They get to access to 4 of my masterclasses, which focus on the 4 clairs, energetic protection and grounding, cord cutting and energetic boundaries, and how to use pendulums and oracle cards. And you also get a 45-minute soul reading and healing session with me for absolutely free. So I'm really excited to host this container. I think it's going to be beautiful. And another thing that I have that I'm really excited to be offering is my monthly card and clarity reading subscription. So every month on the new moon, you get a personalized intuitive card reading, and also you get to ask 2 yes/no questions, which I will answer and then give a more in-depth intuitive reading into your question. And that happens every month. You can pay monthly or every 3 months or every 6 months, whatever works for you. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. My website is spruceenergyhealing.com. on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. I'm Spruce Energy Healing, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and thank you so much for joining me.